I am Jennifer Pumphrey. I'm on the digital team, and I've been with American Century Investments for 25 years. For 25, 26 years, I lose track. If I were going to summarize what I learned from both sets of grandparents, very quickly it would be, don't spend more than you have, save whatever you can, and spend your money on the things that matter to you most. My grandparents on both sides were immigrants. Both grandparents came over from Croatia when they were young boys. And both grandmothers were born here, but very soon after their parents came. Even though they had different levels of wealth between those two families, my grandfather on one side started a business and it was fairly successful. My other grandfather worked in a refinery. The message was the same. You know, save whatever you can. My grandparents on the one side didn't have a garbage disposal. The other grandparents got to travel more and had a little bit nicer house, but were deeply, deeply involved in helping the community. Family was very important, and so that was something that you would spend your money on, family and community. That is definitely something that I've learned from them, how important it is to give back, and I've participated in a lot of things. I shaved my head for the American Cancer Society to raise money for Hope Lodge here in Kansas City. Last year I did a 100-mile bike ride around Lake Tahoe to raise money for the Leukemia Lymphoma Society. I've done Habitat for Humanity. That's another great benefit, true, of working for American Century, where they get us involved. So it just kind of all comes together. Money is not something that you just use to buy stuff, because stuff is fleeting. It's something that you can use to help and give to others, and the results of that are permanent.
I'm Tony Marquez, and I'm a financial consultant here at American Century Investments. A lesson I learned from my grandpa was to set goals and be very goal-oriented, and that allows for you to really focus on the things that you want to accomplish. He loved to have quote-unquote the grandfather talks or the grandpa talks, where he'd either sit you, depending on how big you were, sit you on his lap or sit you next to him and just speak words of wisdom. One of the things that my grandfather and that my grandma wanted to accomplish for us was to be able to send all of their grandkids to college. He set up our accounts at American Century and started putting money away for all of us to go to college at a pretty young age. So that's actually a pretty unique story. I've worked for American Century for almost 5 years now, but I've been a client for almost 25.
My name is Amanda Klusmeyer. I'm a senior user experience designer, and I've been here for 3.5 years. My grandma was the daughter of some Sicilian immigrants who came over in the early 1900s. And then my grandpa is the son of some Irish immigrants. So they both grew up from families, who really struggled to get the American dream. And I think that instilled a lot of values in them too, as well, for why you should put money where it's important and don't invest in what's not important. My grandparents would like to cut corners on things that were not important. So my mom had stories of my grandma reusing sandwich bags. There's even stories of my great-grandma, her mother, going to the bank, and she would have the grandkids, I guess they gave out free toasters and whatnot when you'd open a bank account. So she would have the grandkids all go to the bank and get all these free toasters by opening these accounts. And I think she sold them. They always liked to just make sure that they invested in things that meant more to them. And you could just tell that because they traveled the world. They probably went to about every country there is. And then when I was in high school, my grandpa one time at Christmas announced he wanted to take the whole family on a cruise. They loved to go on cruises, and they really wanted to share that with us. And he was so proud that they were, I don't know why I'm getting emotional, that they were going to pay for it. For the family, and they were so pleased by making this announcement. They were so proud of it. And then my grandpa also was so proud that he was able to help pay for all of our colleges, as long as we got good grades. Because they have such a comfortable retirement, it's really helped show me that it is possible. You don't have to make a ton of money to still be able to save well and to still have a comfortable retirement. That even putting a little aside for retirement, and even we have a vacation fund as well, and just how you can do all of these things in your normal everyday life, but still save for what's important for you later on.